when deadly neighbours Arsenal and Spurs were drawn together in the semi-final of the 1991 FA Cup, the neutral ground chosen was Wembley Stadium. Only the final of the world's greatest club knockout competition have been held here before. It'll be remembered for the atmosphere created by almost 80,000 North London fans cheering their own final, and this goal after 3 minutes.
Oh, I say!
Spurs ran out 3-1 winners that day. Remarkably, the sides were to meet again in the semi-final at Wembley 2 years later. Arsenal could have their revenge, but first a visit to non-league Yeovil Town in the third round.
Harrow with the throw. Oh, it might come through here. There's almost an opportunity for Wayne Dobbins, the fullback, who's stolen in behind Nigel Winterburn, who's yelling at Anders Limpar in front of him. But Dobbins was unseen there, and Seaman came to Arsenal's rescue. The man in the centre is Steve Rutter, the player-manager of Yeovil Town. He must have been so tempted to choose himself for this big game. Bold. Sherwood's header, Hillier, down for Wright. Got away from Cooper, got away from Wallace. Couldn't quite get away from goalkeeper David Coles. But it was a menacing run by Ian Wright, twisting away from two challenges and making space for the shot, which had a fair bit of pace behind it. Hillier, here's O'Leary. Headers by Dobbins, O'Leary again. He's trying to find Limpar. Eventually does via Hillier. And Limpar's won another corner. They certainly haven't approached their task tentatively, though, Arsenal. They've gone for it. Limpar's corner. Ball got a touch on, and Ian Wright gets a touch in. And that puts a completely different complexion on Arsenal's task here today. Such a valuable goal from Ian Wright. His 13th of the season. He scored nearly half the goals that Arsenal have got. And it was the old trick at the near post. Both flick on, and Wright virtually unmarked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Smith finding Wright. Managed to squeeze something out of the corner for Alan Smith. To squeeze a corner kick out of Andy Wallace. There's a buoyancy about Arsenal up front at the moment. 5 minutes of this first half remaining. Hillier in towards Smith. Good save on the line by Coles. Arsenal are master of the skies over Yeovil at the moment. They're having a lot of joy in the air. And Alan Smith will be a little disappointed he couldn't defeat Coles, who was actually stood behind the line, but just kept it on the honest side of the line. No flag against Wright. It was a tight one. It's run away from Wallace. Now can Wright cash in? It's a beautiful chip. Yes, he can. A delicious goal from Ian Wright. Right on the stroke of half-time. 2 for him, 2 for Arsenal, and that could be the end of the fairy story. There was a question mark of offside before all that happened, but Wright didn't hang around to see there was a flag. That's a terrific finish. Right in pursuit, trying to test Coles again. He's got goal side, he's chipped it past the keeper, and it won't quite get there. Coles will see to that. I'm not sure that it was bound for the goal anyway, but Neil Coates made doubly sure. Wallace trying to hold off Wright, he hasn't done so, and Wright has got his hat-trick. It's come midway through the second half, and Ian Wright signs the bottom of the game sheet, puts his signature on the afternoon with a hat-trick of opportunism and of class, which has eased a difficult situation for Arsenal today. Smith. Good play by Batty and by Wallace. No let up in the intensity of the match in many ways. Nevin has found Wallace again, and what a chance here for Spencer! Round Seaman, around the wrong side of the goal, penalty given. Spencer was impeded, presumably by Steve Bold as he got back there. And referee John Lloyd has given Yeovil the chance to end the afternoon with a flourish from the spot. They've got something from the day. Paul Batty's penalty has given it to them with 10 minutes to go. I don't think it'll affect the outcome of the game.
It didn't. Ian Wright returned home with that match ball. Arsenal had negotiated the first step on the road to Wembley, the first hurdle in the marathon chase to the final itself. But cup football is tough football. We've just seen them through round 3. Let's now look what else they've faced. A home draw in round 4, but against league champions and many people's cup favourites, Leeds United. It took a replay, extra time and a brilliant Ian Wright to sort out this one. Another home tie in round 5. It has to be said, though, that Forest weren't enjoying their best season. The quarter-finals were away to Ipswich Town, who'd beaten Arsenal in the 78 final and lost only one game at home all season. But a convincing win set up the opportunity of avenging Spurs for that Wembley semi-final defeat of 1991. Let's follow the rest of the Wembley Road. As Leeds and Arsenal come out at Highbury, they're greeted by 26,000 fans.
Well, Strachan's kept control, but he's only got speed as a possible target. Rigo, who gave it in back. McAllister brushed off the ball by Jensen. And fairly so. Now Merson on the right. Under strong challenge from Fairclough. Campbell arrives! Cracked it against the woodwork. The best opening so far, and Paul Merson really showing his strength out on the right. He got that right across, and Campbell steaming in at the far post. Cracked it against the angle of post and bar, and it went so high it went straight over the back of the hoarding behind that goal. Little touch on, Speed might get to this. They've looked at Joe Worrell. Arsenal aren't happy with it, I don't think, but Gary Speed has continued his real run of goals. That's now 4 in the last 5 games, his 12th of the season. Gary Speed's name goes into Joe Worrell's book as the first goal scorer, but Arsenal appealed, and I think they might have felt there was a handball. Oh, it was so easy for McAllister to step up there. Strachan the furthest forward, nice touch again, gives it in back. Well, there was a real confidence and precision about the way Leeds broke out then. The interplay by Gary McAllister and Gordon Strachan was really delightful. Linighan's clearing header. Dorigo, neat back heel. McAllister steps through. McAllister still driven in. Lee Chapman has forced it in. Lee Chapman's 15th of the season. And there was some really delightful play involved in the whole build-up. First that brought the corner, and then with Dorigo's back heel. George Graham was in the Arsenal FA Cup final side, defeated by Leeds in 1972. Alan Clark's memorable goal, giving Leeds the trophy for the only time in their history. Arsenal have won it 5 times, most recently 1979. But they could be on their way out of the competition this season. 2-0 down. Smith. Winterburn. Parlour. Still Parlour. Oh, good shot. Ray Parlour. The exuberance of youth. And maybe that's given Arsenal the way back. On his FA Cup debut. Having been out of the side for 5 games with an ankle injury, he stepped through, and despite the strong challenge that he was under from the edge of the box from David Weatherall, got in a really good telling shot. Lots of pace, bottom corner. Batty, who lost possession. Campbell. Shot was blocked by Chris White. Merson. It was comfortable again for John Lukic. After the first shot had been blocked. Linighan underneath it. Lee Dixon. Inside the last 20 minutes. Hillier. Well, he cut it back well, David Hillier. A ball that looked as though it might have been lost, but it was just too close to Lukic. And the crowd showing their displeasure at what they interpret as some time-wasting tactics by Leeds. Batty to Dorigo. Speed, forced to hurry. Free kick's been given. Crowd of just over 26,500, just becoming a little bit subdued. As Arsenal fail to get the breakthrough. Maybe now, Parlour. Merson on his right foot, well struck, fabulous strike by Merson, and bang on cue. It's a different game now, 2-2, and what a wonderful strike by Paul Merson. Stepped inside Fairclough, wide of Lukic. Merson's 5th of the season, an absolute peach of a goal. And having been 2-0 down at half-time, you can't ask more of Arsenal than that. They've made it 2 apiece, and there's still time for a winner. Dorigo. Look at Strachan. That time he sold Batty short. This is Jimmy Carter. Campbell. Maybe it's not over yet. Lukic has come off his line. Campbell got a touch, but he didn't quite get the connection that was required. And Kevin Campbell, the chances have come and gone, with a real opportunity to be Arsenal's hero.
The chances for Arsenal have come to Kevin Campbell, haven't they? A couple earlier in the match, which another day he could have tucked away. That one, you had to feel he was going to go round John Lukic. There was no way he was going to put it through him. If he could have taken it wide and clipped it into the net, I think that would have been the winning goal.
But it wasn't, and the rival managers can shake hands. Arsenal 2, Leeds 2.
The comeback from 2 down against Leeds, the stuff of FA Cup legend. But now it was Elland Road for the replay, not a prospect to relish. Leeds' form at home had been superb.
Batty surging forward, terrific power by Batty. Now he looks for colleagues. Oh, he nearly got it through to Strachan. Maybe he will, yeah, Strachan! Little Strachan trying to wriggle through. Weatherall's let it get round him. Smith! That has to go down as a mistake by David Weatherall. Alan Smith was right in his back pocket, and the ball just got away from him. There's no doubt that Smith had a chance then. Winterburn doesn't want to use the keeper, and he slipped. Carl Schutt. Arsenal survive. But they're definitely rattled. Seaman can afford to smile. Winterburn, well, he seemed to be in two minds, which is maybe why he slipped in the first place. And Carl Schutt, sensing that Seaman was off his line, went straight for the target. Batty with the kick. McAllister. Carl Schutt, who's looked a little bit isolated on that right side sometimes. Or maybe he doesn't need anybody else. Still Schutt, what a fantastic run! And it was Dixon who finally got the tackle. At the end of a magnificent run by Carl Schutt. Create doubt and uncertainty, make them turn. He runs past Selly. He goes past Linighan. And finally, it's Lee Dixon who came across from right back. Campbell. It's a good ball into the middle. Smith underneath. Wright tries to get on it. McAllister who cleared. Schutt who put it into the crowd. Arsenal's throw. Ian Wright making himself available. Good turn by Wright. Smith at the near post. Fabulous goal. Arsenal have scored. Out for 5 games. He's been back in for the last 10. And this is a terrific goal. And credit goes to Ian Wright. Ian Wright stepped away from Fairclough. Here he is again. Campbell's with him. Campbell, it just went under his feet. Oh, it's gone back to Ian Wright. Oh, what was said to Arsenal in the dressing room at half-time? To look a much more positive and forward-going outfit. McAllister. Dorigo. Chris White. Linighan let it drop, but Seaman was out of his area. Throw to Leeds. McAllister tries to knock it back in. Schutt's in there. They've equalised. Carl Schutt makes it one apiece. And still these teams prove virtually inseparable in the FA Cup. "70 minutes gone, and Schutt was on it in a flash." Kevin Campbell. Just Wright and Alan Smith ahead of him. Campbell. Left foot shot was blocked. McAllister has it. Well done, Morrow. Smith. Morrow. Smith. Back to Merson. The left foot isn't quite as good as the right foot. Carl Schutt. Foul has been given against Linighan. Well, this is an interesting position for Leeds. It's certainly within range of a strike on the target. McAllister runs onto it. Wonderful strike! Wonderful strike, Gary McAllister. Oh my goodness me! What a goal! What a smile! And what a roar at Ellen Road! 9 minutes left. An absolutely blistering free kick. He stood well back from the ball, and I just wonder if Arsenal disregarded him. Little shake of the head. But it was Powell that beat the keeper. Rocastle over his head. That'll just go out of play before Carl Schutt gets there. Campbell. Ian Wright. Oh, he's equalised! 2-2. Ian Wright celebrates his return to the side after that suspension with a goal in the 83rd minute. And it's 2-2.
That late equaliser brought relief to Arsenal and their travelling hordes, and now to extra time. 30 minutes more to play, and the prospect of the dreaded penalty shootout.
Smith, Merson. Bataillou closed him down, and it just hit the woodwork. The tightest of angles that Merson went for. He'd beaten Lukic, didn't quite beat the post. Oh, Dorigo's knocked it into the path of Merson. Here's Merson. The chance was gilt-edged, but John Lukic stood his ground. It was a very good save. A rare mistake by Dorigo. And look at Merson. He was on it like lightning. John Lukic, the former Arsenal player, who won 2 championship medals with them. Keeps the score at 2-2. Adams, who put his header over the bar. Dorigo. They wouldn't want to lose possession at the moment. They've just got Chris Waddle back. Did Seaman step behind? I think he did. Yes, the corner's been given. Adams, who tried to shield the ball so that the keeper could claim it. Officially 30 seconds left of this first period of extra time. 8 is shut, 2 is Weatherall. Gary McAllister, who'll take the corner. Gives a little signal. Gary Speed's header, and a wonderful save, Seaman. Gary Speed so close to continuing his record of scoring in every FA Cup match so far this season. Merson. Ian Wright, left foot. It's in. Lukic got a hand on it, but he couldn't keep it out. Ian Wright celebrates his return with a second goal. Having equalised to force extra time, has now put Arsenal ahead. Oh, Lukic will be disappointed. He got 2 hands on it, but didn't succeed in pushing it over the bar. What went wrong in the Leeds defence? They were caught right through the middle. Lee Chapman. Oh, he gave it away to Morrow. Rocastle's won it back. Still Rocastle, still Rocastle. Carl Shutt, good chance here for Leeds. Cut out by Tony Adams, does the captain's job, forces a corner when there were so many white shirts behind him. Morrow's header. Oh, Seaman's plucked it away. My goodness me. David Morrow angling for the corner. And again. Rocastle. And somehow Arsenal have got it clear, or have they? But it was a desperate scramble in the goalmouth before that. Weatherall's header, which was looping into the corner. Arsenal edging closer to a fantastic victory in the FA Cup. Having been 2-0 down at home in the first match at Highbury at half-time, they came back to equalise and forced the replay. Ian Wright ended his suspension and proves their hero on the night with 2 goals. to beat Leeds by 3 goals to 2. What a fabulous match. So many memories, so much good football, and played in such a great spirit.
Right ecstatic, the dreaded drama of the shootout avoided. He'd now scored 5 goals in 2 FA Cup matches, and Arsenal were back at home for the 5th round against a below-par relegation-haunted Nottingham Forest, 28,000 inside Highbury.
Checkle. Oh, and the header through by Selly is found right. He's got away from Tyler. Fabulous finish. Magnificently taken by Ian Wright, the man who just can't stop scoring for Arsenal. The Highbury crowd salute a really fine goal. Selly played the ball through. He got away from Tyler, the centre defender, and look at the volley. It flew in. And Ian Wright, 47 goals in 65 matches now for Arsenal. What a record. And there won't be many better than that one. It sailed past Crossley and put Arsenal in front. 20 minutes, and Wright, who scored 3 at Yeovil in the 3rd round, 2 at Leeds in the 4th round replay, opens up this 5th round tie. Now here's Hillier for Arsenal. Dixon. Oh, mistake by Linighan and Bannister to Keane. And again, 2 in the middle waiting. Clough's not marked here. Nigel Clough, what a great chance. And what a bad miss. Will Nottingham Forest get a better chance than that today? Arsenal really made their own misery there. Linighan got caught, and then the 1-2. Keane and Bannister, the ball played in, and it looked so inviting for Nigel Clough. And he put it over the top. What relief for Linighan. Jensen, Wright makes the run again. It comes off Gemmell to Limpar. That's a foul, is it? Pearce? No. Again, moving so fast. This is Wone now. Oh dear, he tried to kick that away because he couldn't pick it up. And it was an air shot from David Seaman. Good thing it wasn't going in. Forest have a corner, Bannister to Wone. Limpar, Jensen, Selly, and the ball is played again for Wright, and again he's pulled away from Tyler. Pearce makes the lunging challenge. Wright still. Oh! How can you stop him? Forest can't. Ian Wright brings another marvellous ovation from the Highbury crowd after producing another example of his own brand of skill as a goal scorer. Once more, he's got away from the number 5. Pearce tries to make a tackle. Wright stays on his feet, and then foxes Crossley. And the ground rises to this man. 2 goals here against Forest in the Coca-Cola Cup, and now 2 against them in the FA Cup from Ian Wright. Quite outstanding finishing. And as the half-time whistle goes, the ground rises again to Arsenal's top goal scorer.
Wright couldn't add to his tally in the second half. Forest couldn't reduce the arrears, so it meant that Brian Clough will have to try again next year for the elusive trophy, wherever he is. From North London to Suffolk, Arsenal's next destination on the Cup voyage. The quarter-finals meant a trip to Ipswich. Although newcomers to the Premier Division, they'd lost only 1 match at home. The match also brought together the brothers Linighan. Andy wearing number 5 for Arsenal, David 6 for Ipswich.
Alan Wilkie of Chesterley Street is the man in charge, and a huge roar goes up as this 6th round tie starts. Ipswich, blue and white, playing from the right. Arsenal in a variety of yellow and black, playing from the left. That was Ian Wright. And lots of tactical thinking has gone into the selections here today on the part of both managers. And already, number 11, Morrow, seem to be picking up Dazelle there in midfield. FA Cup since that day at Wembley. Indeed, it was the only meeting in this competition between Ipswich and Arsenal. Number 8 is Genchev, the Bulgarian. Now Winterburn. And Whelan not far away from Wright, and Morrow very close to Dazelle. So Stockwell, Genchev down the right, number 8. Cut out by Winterburn, but not then. Was by Adams. This is David Linighan. Lifting it towards Dazelle. Nice header back. Oh, what a good shot by Thompson. And with the right foot as well. Neil Thompson, normally so strong on the left side. He picked that one up beautifully. It's a Dazelle flick back. And that was rising, but only just over. Good effort here, and Dazelle, an important part of the build-up there for Ipswich. Here's David Linighan for Ipswich. Andy Linighan with Genchev. It runs loose. Kiwomya taking on Davis, and cry goes up from the crowd, but not from the players. Nothing given. Williams. Well, it was a pacey run by Kiwomya and a somewhat risky challenge by Davis right on the corner of the box. Outside, in fact, when he went for the ball. That is a foul. That's Andy Linighan on Johnson. It's Thompson with the free kick. David Linighan coming in there. Genchev! And Arsenal were struggling. Adams got them out of jail there because two defenders didn't know where the ball had gone. And Genchev unable to take advantage. They just got to him. Thompson with the throw. Here comes Stockwell. And offside, Johnson. Well, the presence of Genchev in there, almost feeding off a good bit of play by David Linighan. Here's Dazelle, and this is Kiwomya. Dazelle again. This is Johnson. Genchev coming in, and Andy Linighan heads out, corner. Whelan taking up the position nearest the kicker by the post. Kiwomya's in there, and John Walk jumping here. Oh, what a scramble. And off the line. And in, yes! I think it's Kiwomya. I think it's Kiwomya that got it. It was a right old scramble, but Ipswich are in the lead. 16 minutes gone, and Arsenal had bodies in there, but they couldn't stop the ball going in. Genchev takes the corner, and it's John Walk here with Seaman on the ground, who jumps first. There are 5 yellow shirts. Somehow they get it away from Whelan. Dazelle off the line again there by 2 players, including the goalkeeper. Kiwomya under the bar, and Ipswich take the lead. Kiwomya now with Linighan. And Johnson up in support here. Square is Genchev, number 8, and it's come off Dixon and safely to Seaman. And again, it was Kiwomya who was very much the threat to Arsenal. Morrow. Smith. Winterburn. Merson. Free kick, David Linighan on Smith. And Arsenal coming back into the game now with 28 minutes gone, looking for the equaliser.
Merson is shaping up to take this one. Adams! It's in! And Tony Adams comes back with a goal. Arsenal are level after 29 minutes, and it was another set-play goal, but so simple you wouldn't credit it, really. Merson looked up, saw Adams as the furthest man across, played the ball in perfectly, and his marker got it all wrong, and Adams equalised for Arsenal. He stole away there from David Linighan and planted the header inside the post. And what a cup tie we have here now. This is Dixon. Jimmy Carter couldn't keep it in. Merson. This is Wright. Away by Walk. Stoppage time at the end of the first half, and I wouldn't think there's much of that. Merson. In fact, there's no stoppage time to speak of because this match has been unabated. Kiwomya gave Ipswich the lead in a very good opening period after Zizel's shot had been scrambled away, and then Arsenal equalised through Tony Adams, and at half-time it's Ipswich Town 1, Arsenal 1. Well, those who know their local history in Suffolk will tell you that if it wasn't for Arsenal, Ipswich might never have been a professional football club. It was really the relationship between two famous families, the Hillwoods and the Cobbolds, that started it all here in the 30s. Here's Johnson. And now Williams, as Ipswich seek to make the start to the second half that they made to the first. Important for them today, winners of only one of their last 7 games. This is Thompson. Kiwomya. Genchev trying to flick it on. And that's Williams with the shot. Well, Geraint Williams, who's still looking for his first goal since he became Ipswich's record signing from Derby, £650,000 last summer. That's Morrow, and that's Wright, and here's Smith. Oh, and it's Wright again, he got in there and lofted the volley just over the bar. But we've seen him put those away this season, and that was the first time that Ipswich have really lost track of Ian Wright in this game. He gets the other side of David Linighan, and on another day that might have dipped in. This is Adams with Genchev. Well, that's one way of passing to Winterburn, I suppose. That's meant for Smith. Whelan's header, it's Wright. Oh, it caught a deflection, I think. Corner. Had Baker scrambling a bit down by the post, Ian Wright shot, but I imagine when you see it again, it catches an Ipswich foot somewhere here. Yes, it's Johnny Walk, I think. Corner to be taken by Merson. Short to Morrow. Merson. Smith. Oh, and still they can't get it in. I think it was Jimmy Carter who had the second chance. Here's Adams. Walk heads clear. Davis. Good spell again for Arsenal. Merson. And that one tails off an Arsenal attack that had threatened to put them in front. Close thing that when Merson dribbled his way along the goal line there and cut it back. Smith was close. You can see here, doesn't really take it out either. It was in play, Smith shot, and Carter really had the best chance on the rebound. Some of Smith's touch play and target performance has been really good to watch. Here he is again.
Making room for Carter, perhaps. It's Jimmy Carter. Davis on the goal line in the middle with the goalkeeper half away, and it fell conveniently for Ipswich to Johnson. If it had fallen to an Arsenal player, Ipswich might well have been behind there. They were all over the place, and they still are. It's Wright. Oh, it's going to be a penalty. It's John Walk, and he won't argue, on Ian Wright, and they never really recovered, Ipswich, from that desperate bit of defending a moment ago. They were always on the receiving end here. Wright's inside the box, and Walk catches his ankles, there is no doubt. Now then, Arsenal have missed 5 penalties this season. Ian Wright missed one at Norwich on Wednesday night, but he's got the courage to try again. And this time he scores his 50th goal for Arsenal in only 68 games. His 8th in the FA Cup this season, and the goal that puts Arsenal in front in this 6th round tie in the 62nd minute. Wright, the man brought down. Wright, the goal scorer from the spot. He didn't hang around, he put that ball down. Baker did ever so well to go the right way. He only missed it by the length of his arm, but Wright scores, and Arsenal lead by 2 goals to 1. This is Genscher taking on Andy Linighan. And Stockwell, a great run through. This is Dazelle. Oh, he put it too close to the goalkeeper. Dazelle was in a great position, and taking nothing away from Seaman, you honestly felt he should have got that past him. He got it down all right, but the keeper saved well. Not quite what Wright had in mind there, was it? But Arsenal protecting the lead that he gave them. Was Johnson. Smith, good header. Oh, Wright's through again. Oh, and Whelan tried to stop him, and it's got in. And Arsenal are 3-1 up, and I think Whelan may have got the touch there. Well, there's no question about it now. Arsenal are completely in charge. Whelan is chasing right back. Is it Whelan that gets the touch? It looks like an own goal to me. Kiwomya looks for Goddard. It drove him a little bit wide. It's out. Oh, I thought it was. Well, looks like you've got a corner somehow. Stockwell. That's loose. Genscher. Goal! They've got one back. It's 3-2. Well, I'm not even sure that they knew it was a corner at first, but it was quickly taken. Stockwell gets the ball in. It goes past Kiwomya. It's Genscher, the Bulgarian, who kicks the shot through Lee Dixon's legs and off the post. Well, it was a goal scorer's goal, this, wasn't it? Turned and shot, and got the advantage of the inside of the post. And on the Arsenal bench, Stuart Houston and George Graham might be feeling that their side have made it a tiny bit more difficult for themselves than they had to. Davis, Campbell, oh, he's away here, Kevin Campbell. And that is the goal that puts Arsenal into the semi-final of the FA Cup. Scored by Campbell, the substitute, to make it 4-2. In the last minute of the game. And really, the header forward just caught Ipswich short, and Campbell just took that away past Baker. His first goal since way back, I think 3 months since Campbell scored for the first team. And it will come as a great relief to Arsenal, because they were hanging on a little bit there, but they've got a 2-goal lead back again, and the Ipswich fans know it's all up now. Last goal, if I remember rightly, was against Derby in the Coca-Cola Cup at the beginning of December. Arsenal's strength has told when it's mattered today. They were 1 down, they were 3-1 up, Ipswich got back to 3-2, but Adams and his men have just kept their morale high, and they've dug a good result out here at the end of a very tiring week. There's no question about that. Stockwell. I would imagine there are some happy faces around Highbury too just now, where they're watching the relay of this game. Chest by Hillier. This is Merson. And Arsenal continue to attack Wembley on 2 fronts. Through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Tony Adams' goal cancelling out Ipswich's early lead, and then Arsenal taking the game over in the second half, courtesy partly of Ian Wright. And Campbell got the last goal as Ipswich folded against a very determined Arsenal performance.
The day after the Ipswich victory and minutes after Tottenham's 4-2 win at Manchester City came the draw that paired the North London Giants together in another Wembley semi-final. Once again, the National Stadium was sold out. The teams entered the arena to be greeted by a crescendo of noise. The determination displayed at Portman Road, Ipswich would have to be surpassed today as Arsenal faced an improving Tottenham side. In the absence of Steve Bold, Andy Linighan and Tony Adams had formed a formidable partnership at the heart of the Arsenal defence. Ian Wright had scored 8 of Arsenal's 14 cup goals, and with Kevin Campbell formed the striking force. Spurs will be looking toward top scorer ready steady Teddy Sheringham for goals, with Anderton and Naeem other potential strikers, captain Gary Mabbott and Neil Ruddock the stoppers.
Away by Mabbott. David Seaman, who will be determined to do well today. Here's Anderton. They all are, but Seaman for special reasons. Anderton, Sheringham, and indeed every goalkeeper likes to get a good early save in, and Seaman, after what happened to him at the hands of Gascoigne and Lineker, saw that Anderton was shaping there for the first real shot from Tottenham. Sheringham had the final effort, but the two up front combined well. Anderton, Samways had run offside, so Anderton went himself. Good decision by the number 9, and then Linighan challenged him. No foul given, it's a corner. Spurs surround Mr. Don. Sheringham and Naeem up to him immediately to appeal. Sedgley as well. They felt it was a foul on Anderton by Linighan. Trevor.
It was a foul. He didn't get the ball. Anderton turned it past him. The referee looked at the linesman, who was right next to the two players. He didn't flag, so he didn't give the decision.
And Ruddock appeared to be held there as well, but with his arm on his head, he signals, but nothing's given. This is a good spell for Tottenham. Here's Merson. Oh, he saw where Torsvet was.
Terrific bit of vision. In the end, initially you thought, well, no, what's he doing? But because Torsved was off his line outside the 6-yard box, tries to hit it with the outside of his foot, doesn't quite get the swerve.
Here's Samways, and this is Anderton. Austin spreads the play. Ruddock is still forward, gets a touch on it. Mabbott. Wide again to Naeem. And still Ruddock is in there. And there he is, Ruddock!
It's always dangerous, isn't it, Neil Ruddock, in those situations. Good cross. He gets a running jump, whereas Linighan's had to backpedal and stand. Didn't quite have the power to ever feel it was going to beat Seaman.
Here's Merson. In the way was Mabbott. And this is Sheringham. Things are really brightening him up now. And Adams gets mixed up here. And there's a real danger. And it was Vinny Samways. And Seaman scrambled back. Adams will be so relieved. Samways was clean through for Spurs.
Well, that was nearly an unbelievable calamity, wasn't it? First of all, Tony Adams missed kicks barely on his left foot. I must say, I thought Vinnie Samways might have done better. And then secondly, David Seaman, it slipped through his hands, but was always going to trickle wide.
Yes, 2 years ago when Spurs won the Cup and Arsenal won the league, they had a 0-0 draw here, as I recall, in the Charity Shield. And who's going to separate them today, if anybody? Here's Campbell, he might. Tries to find Wright. Oh, and it's Selly! Good save, and Wright's in! Double save by Torsvett. And the 18-year-old there could have made his name, Ian Selly. The chance fell to him, and he tested Torsvett. It's Campbell that sets up the play. Selly up with his right foot. Volley with his left. Good effort. Good save. And look at this as Wright comes in. Brave and decisive goalkeeping by Eric Torsvett. The little pockets of incident increasing now as Merson gets away for Arsenal. Campbell and Smith switching over in the centre. It's still Merson. Anderton behind him now. Right! And he's put more difficult chances than that away this season. The goal there was virtually at Wright's mercy. It's a great run by Merson. He got round them twice over, really. And look at that. It seemed to spin off the side of his foot.
Goes to his left here. It's Campbell to Merson. Selly's out wide. Wright is through the middle. It's still Merson. Here's Wright. Ian Wright finds space. Good save.
Well, he got his hand to it, but it went through, and fortunately just went over the crossbar. Again, Merson finding that bit more space away from Sedgley. Look where Sedgley is, and Wright hit it very well. Fortunately for Torsvett, it was within striking distance and he could get his hands to it.
Adams nearly on the goal line. Linighan forward again. Campbell's in there. Linighan jumping, and Spurs playing a couple of short passes on the edge of their own area, but it's worked for them. Look at that. And here's Naeem, and Sheringham could get away here. Offside. Offside against one of the two runners. It may even have been Sheringham who was offside and not the man to whom the ball went, Samways. Here's Parlour for Arsenal. Still Ray Parlour. Now that's outside the area, just in Edinburgh, right under the nose of the referee. And there'll be no disputing that decision. There's the man with only one boot on, Ian Wright. But Parlour was the man who was fouled there by Edinburgh. We've got a free kick then. Adams has now gone up as well. And Merson chips it in. And in came Tony Adams. And Arsenal have taken the lead. And the captain, Tony Adams, who scored at Ipswich in the 6th round and turned the game round there, has turned up again at the far post. He only came late. While Wright was coming back on the pitch, Adams came forward, and I think that threw the Tottenham marking. Look, he's the extra man, and there's nobody there. And with 10 minutes to go, Arsenal take the lead in the semi-final. Tony Adams, the scorer, with a header which goes across Torsvett. Winterburn with Barmby. Morrow. Spurs throw. Bergson. Anderton. Oh, and Seaman had to make it, and he did. It came off his own player. It was a wicked deflection, and the goalkeeper makes a vital save. 3 minutes into time being added on for stoppages. Arsenal lead 1-0. And Spurs still have a chance. It's Edinburgh. Parlour challenges. And Arsenal are having to fight desperately back there to keep Spurs out. Now, what can Alan Smith do? he's gone through them. He's got past Ruddock. Good save by Torsvet, who needs to get the ball upfield quickly. Austin forward. Morrow. Oh, this is if we're playing extra time, but we're not now. Arsenal are through to the FA Cup final to meet Sheffield Wednesday here on May the 15th. They have beaten their North London rivals Tottenham Hotspur by 1-0. George Graham is at Wembley twice in a season. And as their supporters celebrate, the goal by Tony Adams was decisive on 80 minutes. And Arsenal finished the match with 10 men. Would have had to have tried to hold on to the lead because in extra time, a man short, it would surely have favoured Tottenham, but it's all hypothetical. Adams is the hero, as he was of England on Wednesday. Anderton is in tears, and Spurs' cup dreams this year are over. Arsenal have revenge for the semi-final of 2 years ago. Burying the memory of Gascoigne and Lineker, they've organised themselves today to meet what Tottenham had to offer, to smother it, and then to show resilience, fortitude and flair, let it be said, in the second half when they got on top. And tears for Tottenham. Generous applause by the Tottenham Hotspur fans. That's good to see. And one hopes the excellent behaviour that we've witnessed so far today continues on the way home to make these Wembley showpiece semi-finals a thing of the future as well as the present. And Arsenal have won the North London semi-final. They've beaten Spurs by 1-0, and they play Sheffield Wednesday here twice now. But the biggest occasion is the FA Cup final on May the 15th.
So Arsenal are now at the end of the road to Wembley, despite losing Lee Dixon for 2 yellow cards with 10 minutes to go. We hope that the Arsenal team and their fans enjoy themselves on May the 15th as much as they are today, and that the coveted FA Cup once again graces the trophy cabinet in the marbled halls at Highbury. In a year that ends in a 3, let's hope it's an Arsenal Wembley spree.